So what happens when the work that you're called into doing leads into like the deep dark and the heavy stuff? And what if we're not quite ready to own up to that? We're going to talk about that in today's episode. So if you've been feeling like, oh my God, what am I doing on this pathway? Holy smokes, today's episode is going to resonate with you. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast, where we explore the mindset shifts, energetic upgrades, and practical strategies that support you in becoming the woman who creates what she desires with confidence and clarity. I'm Amy Diamond, and I help high-performing women like you move beyond shame, guilt, and struggle so that you can step into deeper wealth, confidence, and a life that feels delicious inside and out. If you've ever sensed you are meant for more and you're ready to create it, this is your place. It's time to move beyond the vision board, babe, and become the catalyst for true transformation. You're about to step into something really powerful. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Manifesting Millions podcast. Thanks for being here with me today. I missed the episode last week. It's just been insanely busy in my life, so I apologize if you're used to a weekly listen and you're like, hey, what the WTF happened? And today's episode is going to be getting published late because it should have been out like 5 hours ago, but here I am recording it. I'm going to get it into your hands. Last week we had the Money Magic workshop, and it's still available for, you can watch the replays for a couple more days. And as part of the workshop, we led into the Money Magic Mastery offer, which is available for you to sign up until Friday. I may actually extend the cart. I'm curious to see where my energy is. The workshop was really amazing because it was content that I honestly didn't think that I would be sharing. We went really deep. I've seen lots of workshops. I've certainly attended lots over the years. And I've seen often where we might dig deep into a certain concept, but not necessarily go down the journey of where things get hard, or they're used as a brief example to show like a breakthrough, right, or a transformation. On day 2, we spoke about childhood roles, and in the workshop, which is very cool. I love when people join me live. We had breakthroughs happening right there in the room. That's something that's actually new to me. Only just, I feel like I have to qualify that, not in part because my workshops haven't been super highly attended. I know that lots of workshops in the past, people catch replays of different days, but having someone in the room with you or multiple people in the room with you is a different vibe, right? Because when things land, you tell me in the comments, and it just hits different. And oh my God, I just got all lit up. Like the one comment, and all they said was, dang, everything just clicked. And that kind of breakthrough, that kind of awareness, oh my God, I could live on that for months. Day 3 though, holy Moses, day 3 landed deep. Day 3, we talked about the impact of extended periods of financial struggle or financial scarcity. Now, I've talked a little bit about that on the podcast. We dove into, why is it that the manifestation work isn't working? Why is it that you've been doing belief work for so long and yet you still struggle with money? What's going on that you sign up for a mini program or a manifestation course, or you work with a coach, and they have all these stories of people seeing these big wins, these massive transformations, like very quickly, and you aren't seeing them. And then we talked head on about the shame and the guilt and the regret that so many experts and teachers and guides and coaches have been laying on us as a result of our financial struggles, our worries, our fears, our sometimes inability to move. And it was really amazing to see just how deeply day 3 landed. Like, I actually got a message from someone who had to watch the replay afterwards, and it was all capital letters followed with like 5 exclamation marks, and it just said, "Day 3, holy fuck," and like the brain explosion emoji. And in fact, they were so passionate about it. They're like, please, like, just like even put out this video as a standalone. So it actually went up on the YouTube channel on Saturday. So if you don't want to necessarily like catch all the replays, but you want to check out what day 3 was about, there's an abbreviated version of it on YouTube, and you can find me there at XO Amy Diamond, all one word, and it'll be the most recent video that was up there if you're listening to the podcast this week. So, and then day 4, this is not a full, we're not doing a recap of the workshop. Okay, that's not what we're doing here, but it's all kind of leading into sort of where we are today. So day 4 was the day that I really felt like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm talking about this. I share stories all the way through the workshop. It's one of the ways that I communicate the best. I also think that, human history shows that we really connect through story. So I shared a lot of stories from my own life to illustrate behaviors or responses or, different points. I shared a few client stories as well. But day 4, I shared a story that was still very real, very lived. And I was like, I can't believe that I'm about to say this in a container that's going live. But wow, did it resonate with you? It really resonated with those of you who were there. So I'm going to say this, and then we're going to like get into a little bit of the meat for today. I feel like we've already been in there. But you can catch the replays. Currently, they're scheduled to be available until August 7th. So I'll put the link in the show notes for you. Hey, so real quick question for you. Are you on the Insights email list already? And if you are not, what are you waiting for? Folks on my Insights email list get the best of the best from me. They get super secret deals, they get insights and freebies and all kinds of cool stuff delivered straight to their inbox. So if you are not yet on the list, get yourself on there right now. Click the link in the show notes and let's get you signed up so I can help you continue to keep expanding. Because babe, OMG, the world wants more of you. So let's get you going. So there's a really amazing tool that I've been using a lot lately. You're going to hear all about it in next week's episode. I was hoping to have this interview published this week, but it's been a little bit nuts. So I haven't had a chance to properly edit and prepare the promos for it. So it's going to come out next week. But there's this really amazing tool that I've been using. I started by just testing it out as part of the interview. And it's become a very grounding, very clarity-giving tool. One of the things that it has been giving me in massive quantities is deep clarity into how am I designed to be in the world? And specifically, how does that translate into business? So I've never been afraid of, I shouldn't say that. I felt cautious, certainly. I felt fear a lot of times about diving into money, especially given my own money history, even my own money present, and the lack of external markers of success that I feel like and certainly have been told are required in order to share and teach and guide about money and, how we handle life in the financial realm in particular. But one of the things that this tool has been showing me is that I was literally designed from the very beginning to go deep into the shadow parts of ourselves. And I've been kind of aware of this. I've been diving a little bit into my human design, my astrology charts, different things. I'm always super curious, what can I learn about myself? And it's been very interesting, some of the answers. And I've seen that the heart of my work is meant to be in the shadowy elements. I'm trying to think how it was stated before, that it was sort of you deal with grief and death and whatever. And I'm like, well, that sounds really morbid. So this tool has given me some interesting clarity to go, okay, no, it's not just something, sort of as simple as grief or death, which I have thankfully very little experience in. Please, universe, don't send me a whole schwack of experience on that. But that hidden space of money shame, the things that we fear others are going to find out, the credit card balances that are rising rapidly, the credit limit notifications, the bounced payments, the wanting to earn more even though we're already making great money, the feeling like it's not okay to ask for the price that we want, the panic that hits us when we're about to present our offer. That's actually where I'm designed to be. And it's really amazing to have that clarity, because it's almost like it's given me this really interesting permission to just go whole hog into, okay, we're going to fucking lean all the way in, and look out, world. Amy has the blinders have come off, the bumpers, from bowling, those bumper side rails are falling away, because we have some serious work to do. Now, I'm not going to go deep into this. I've shared a little bit that it's been a bit of a struggle for me the last few years. In part, there's been a big lift, I guess, as it relates to perimenopause and the change in our bodies that happens naturally, but can be a real fun ride for some of us. And as part of my, I want to say care program. I don't love how that sounds, but anyway, as part of my sort of taking care of myself endeavor, I was able to be referred to a clinic that does virtual, a therapy session. And I had my first meeting with the doctor this morning, and was very kind. Now, the first meeting and probably the first two are a ton of intake, right? And I always feel a little bit frustrated that that those count as sessions, because it's well, I'm just telling you history, and we're counting health things, and we're kind of going over what's your state of mind now, and how does this thing, and and it feels it's always felt a little unfair to me that those count as sessions. I'm not saying that they shouldn't, from the standpoint if you're a practitioner and you're but Amy, it's a shit ton of work. I get that, but I know for sure if I'm very blessed, very lucky that I have a series of sessions that are paid by Alberta Health, which is wonderful. But I've certainly paid for lots of sessions in the past, and you're in there and it's costing you $220 or $250, and you're I just paid you, $250 to just tell you my history, and that hasn't actually helped me at all. I know it's setting the foundation, but it feels frustrating. But it did give me some interesting clarity, because I planned to go for a run after. I had hoped to go for a run before the session took place, just because today is another very full day. But I had a little come to Jesus talk with myself and was Amy, let's be realsies. If you try to do a run before the session, you're going to be stressed through the whole run. You're going to be like pushing really hard because you're going to be trying to get back in time. And then you're going to be like sweaty and coming down from the run in the session, which is not the best place to be. Like, just do the session first and then go for a run afterwards. And sometimes I'm pretty wise. So yay to pass me for for letting having that little CTJ with myself, because it certainly was helpful. So I was out for the run and I was thinking about something that the doctor said to me in our session. And it was near the end, and she said, okay, so a lot of what you've described, in particular, like some of the physical symptoms for sure, but the feelings of like, am I wasting my life? Am I going to regret everything when I'm 80? What am I doing here? I feel like I'm wasting my potential. I've been here for, 40 some odd years, and have I really accomplished anything? And she said, that's actually very normal when we're for women in their 40s. And that felt really nice to hear, because it felt like I was not alone. But when I was out for my run and I was thinking about what she had said, and I realized that, like, so when you're building a business, if you've ever done it or you're ever about to do it, you will find very quickly that you were told that you need to like niche down, right? Be very clear on exactly who it is that you serve, which is challenging at the best of times, but like certainly at the beginning. I actually think that businesses and brands that have very niched audiences, they've been at it for a while. Very rarely did they have a very specific niche right from the very beginning, unless, like, say, for example, they developed a very specific support program or a product related to an extremely specific circumstance. Like, let's say they have like a 6-month post-heart surgery for, women who are 50 to 60, whatever, right? Like, I'm making shit up as I go, but like, that's something that is ultra specific in the nature of how it was designed. When we're talking about money shame, when we're talking about, the degradation, is that a word? Let's make it a word, that happens to your confidence when you're looking at your bank account balance and you're not sure how to pay your bills, and how that impacts how you show up at work, or you've been at this for so long and you're like, okay, I feel like I should have more wealth by now. I feel like I should have, bought a house or have more money in my investment savings, or be ready for retirement or whatever. It's difficult to nail down that shame. It's difficult to niche in and say, okay, I only help people with this exact specific kind of shame. Now, we could sure say that, like, already that's pretty niched, talking about money shame and talking about, and focusing on women. But I was thinking about what the doctor had said as I was out running this morning, and I realized one of the things that I've been afraid to do is so much of what, again, we're taught from a business perspective is that you need to have the answers, which I think is bullshit. Okay. So if you are in any kind of specifically like coaching or a service providing kind of business, or that's where you would like to go, and one of the things that's been standing in your way is this sense of like, but I don't know all the things. I don't have all the answers. I actually think the messaging that we're supposed to have the answers, that we're supposed to have like the exact 5-step process or the proven strategy that helps people, overcome this from a purchasing side of things, it fills us with what I'm going to candidly say, a false confidence that we're buying a product or a service that is going to help us. But that confidence is false because we don't know that it is actually going to help. Sometimes it will, and sometimes it won't. And the disconnect is why, when you see testimonials or bad reviews that are saying like this, they sold me this and it totally didn't work, is because of that disconnect. They were sold an answer, they were sold a solution, they didn't get it for any number of reasons, and they are rightfully so disenchanted by it. So that makes sense to me. But one of the things that is also very important to understand is that whenever you're deciding to work with a coach or you want to lean in with some kind of a guide or an expert, I want you to know something very important. My love, so often we talk about wanting to manifest more money, wanting to create more income in our lives. And something that has been flowing through for me lately is that we've been focusing on the wrong element. It is not that we want to just manifest more money in our lives, but that we actually need to disconnect ourselves from the identity of a person who is under earning. This is something that is becoming very, very clear to me, and I'm seeing some really strong patterns in my own life and in the lives of people around us. And it's so integral to us building the life of our dreams that I've decided to run a free workshop on how to break the cycle of under-earning and begin to move into the identity of a person, financial goals that we have, and to feel good about it. If this sounds at all interesting to you, then I want you to join me. It's going to be completely free. It's going to be happening in July, and jump in with me for this free workshop because, listen, babe, we need to put more dollars into your bank account so that you can really move and circulate money and abundance in the world in a way that feels wonderful and juicy to you. And step one to doing that is disconnecting from someone who is under earning. So join me in the workshop. The URL is in the show notes. I am so excited to help you break that cycle. I want you to know something very important, and that is this. If you are connecting with someone who tells you they have all the answers, or like are very certain that like this process works for everyone, I would offer a note of caution of like jumping in all on board as like, oh my God, this is going to be the answer to everything. It might be. And I certainly know that like lots of times it is, but that, I don't know, performative action, I guess, of saying like, I have all the answers, or like, just trust me and we're going to get this figured out. When we go into the deep stuff, nobody knows all the answers. They can't possibly. Nobody, I don't care who they are and how skilled they are, they can't come into my life, walk alongside me for 5 minutes and go, okay, Amy, I know all the solutions and here's exactly how we're going to fix all of this and it's going to be awesome. Just do these things. We will gain momentum. Absolutely. We will make some things happen 100%. But there's also so much more at play that's happening. So this fear of like that I'm supposed to have all the answers, which feels so fucking fraudulent, right? Like, I'm like, fuck, I don't know. Like, you know, someone who's been listening to me for a while, like comes to me and says, Amy, like, I really love how you talk about this. Can you help me with this thing? The answer is very likely going to be, yes, I can. But if you're like, tell me all the answers, I'm like, okay, well, let's find them together. I actually think that makes for a much stronger thing. And I think this is so, so important when it comes to our financial journeys, because I cannot be the only one that has been trying to follow all of the financial advice from, you know, very specific financial experts that have given us exact methods to follow, and those methods aren't working out. They may have gotten us some results. You know, some people really believe in budgeting and they really need the budget. And oh my God, to me, trying to follow specifically a budget and having to do it every month, it's one thing when I have a very consistent income. But in the majority of my working life, I have not had a very consistent income. It's been all over the place, either because I was working on an hourly basis, so it totally depends on how much I've worked, you know, the 2 weeks before payday, or because I've been building my businesses. Like this is I think third that I've really like gone all in on. I've certainly done lots of other little side things to kind of test out a few different things. But like my third really focused business, and not once in all the times that I've been building businesses have I had consistent income. It's something that I am still learning and I'm still figuring out. And so a budget is on the months that like, say you have a big influx, is like, oh, okay, like I can nail all the things on my budget this month. But on the months that the income is too low to fit our budget, or like isn't there at all, it causes massive stress and anxiety, because you're just like, oh, fuck. And you just know you've like done all the budgeting, right? So you know that like you're falling short, which gets turned into all kinds of stories in our heads. And so I guess I just want to, I want to keep today short. So I'm going to wrap it up here right away. But I guess I just want to say that like, when it comes to our financial journey, my hope for you is that you're willing to work with someone who is willing to go into the depth with you, who doesn't pile shame and guilt and regret and defeat and frustration and, all the gross things on you because of your dreams or your goals or because of your history or your fears. I've had them all. Right? Like I've had, I just feel like I've had so many different kinds of experiences, and very rarely have I, especially when it comes into the topic of money. And here's the thing, okay? Not one of us that exists on the planet is disconnected from money. Not one of us. Every single person relies on money, is deeply connected with money as a basic necessity of life. And every single one of us has our own money story, our own money beliefs, our own money experiences. We have our own ways of moving with money. And what happens very often is that so-called financial experts, financial guides, there is certainly some that are like tested from the okay, we've seen this work with a lot of people, so this seems to be really useful for a lot. But I actually think that the vast majority are basically saying this worked for me, therefore it must work for you. And well, by now you know that that's not the case. So anyway, I guess if any of this resonated, and you're kind of curious about working with me, so definitely check out the Money Magic workshop, because holy moly, you're going to get some like really great insights there. But Money Magic Mastery is open right now for enrollment. It is a live container. We go fucking deep. You have the support of both my money programs, Break Up with Broke and Wealthy as Fuck, are included as part of the enrollment. And we do 3 months of live coaching. So you have a one-on-one with me every single month. And then we do small group coaching, because go watch the workshop because you'll get a better understanding. But there's a really powerful thing that happens when we do things in rooms with other people, which is why I've built it into the program specifically. And this is, I'm going to pull this full circle. This is what I realized as I was out for my run this morning, that, I don't enjoy that the first 2 meetings with a new coach, a new therapist, a new, whatever, are history taking, and that they count towards our total count of sessions, or that we get billed for them. So I decided this morning that one of the things that I feel really guided to do is that we're going to have basically like 2. Think of it like 2 one-on-one meetings in the first month. And the first one is you can call it a bonus, I guess. You can call it whatever you want to, but really the truth is it's for us to get in the room together, for me to understand where you are at, what you've been struggling with, what you'd like to see as a result of coming to the end of the 3 months that we do Money Magic Mastery. and to just really get things ready so that when we actually have our one-on-one session for our first month, we can dive right in. We're not doing a bunch of like excavation work of like the initial intake kind of things, right? So so I just decided that we're going to do that. The link for both Money Magic Workshop and Money Magic Mastery are in the show notes for you. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Like, reach out to me on Instagram at XOAmyDiamond, or leave a review of the podcast, also super helpful. And if you're like, more people would benefit from hearing this, then I would love so much if you would share this episode. That would be helpful. And I will see you next week. Next week, I'm absolutely going to bring you the interview. Oh my God, I've got a few interviews queued up for the month of August. So it's going to be very fun. I'm really excited for what is coming your way. So make sure that you are doing whatever you need to do on your podcast platform so that you get notified when the episode drops, because the next few are going to be really, really, those interviews are going to be some big shifts for you. Make sure you're following and ready for that. My loves, I'm going to go make myself a bite to eat and then do my hair. And then I'm going to go pick up my brother from the airport. We're going to hang out together for a few days. So I'm excited about that. Thank you so much for listening. I so appreciate you being here with me, and I will see you next week. Bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode, my love. If you loved what you heard today, I'd be so grateful if you left a review and shared it with someone ready for more. For additional love and inspiration, find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at XOAmyDiamond, or visit the links in the show notes. I'm already excited to connect in the next episode, and I'm cooking up something really juicy for you. Until then, I'm sending you all my love, and I'm reminding you, you're already awesome. It's time to let your brilliance shine.